Shalom Yashrala.
Following some
First and
breaking
foremost, I give my praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yamashai, Bashim Kakwadash, for putting the spirit upon me to this video. And today's video is going to be a little short lesson, This is a little snippet I came across right on TikTok, as you know, as we live in these times, we getting articles on a daily basis, video clips on a daily basis, so it's impossible for our people to say they ain't know what's going on or, they have no knowledge of that. It's impossible because if you ain't reading it, you getting it shared to you on some platform, or you can see the actual footage, on some platform. Because as you know, we all use social media. Social media, has grown to be, you know, a part of our daily routine, of our daily lives, and this is, you know, one of the ways the Most High, pushes out his messages, and as you can see, as I say, there's this little snip, is gonna show you that the Most High said, you know, it's gonna be done. World War III, is inevitable. It is gonna happen. And all these things are leading up to it. All these minor, little rumors or all these minor little wars or what's not, is leading up to the big shebang, being World War III. So this article is just gonna show you, you know, uh, threats, being made from Iran, to Donald Trump, to being to Nero, you know, and they're just gonna show you that the scriptures is true because as they say, they will hate the whore, and as you can see, even America's allies are turning against us slowly but surely, because their own allies in EU, in EU, and NATO, nations and what's not, their bond, their relationship ain't as strong as it used to be because, America, America being Babylon, is rubbing everybody the wrong way, doing snake things towards them, or, putting unrighteous decrees on them, whether it be, them having to send out certain materials, towards America, or America raiding them on the slick, or America talking down them on the slick, and this is just causing strife, in between their own relationship, but America can't see it. Only those who that spiritual eyes have, is gonna see that, due to the spirit and power of Yahweh, but she never shy. But right now, as you know, Iran and America always had problems, from when America, killed, one of their own before, and that ain't died on since, it might have not been spoken about, on a major, you know, major news tabloids, but things are still happening, with America and Iran, from then up to now. And as you can see, this is on Fox now. Fox is being a major news, tabloid or what's not. But I can play the clip and get precepts driving point home.
We are following some breaking news out of Iran after Iran threatens President Trump. Take a look at this social media post right now, sharing more details of this threat. This is from the New York Post saying Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target. And they also shared a photo of one of the assassination attempts against President Trump. All of this coming as protests continue to escalate in Iran. These are some file video of some of these protests in which reportedly hundreds, if not thousands of people have been killed. We are following.
So as I say, Iran issues assassination threat against Trump.
Some breaking news.
So right now, war is being revved up, as you see over here on the 242, the pot is on the stove with the boiling water, and the heat is eventually rising and rising, and it's only a matter of time before the water starts to overflow. Right now the water ain't overflowing, it only have a little bit bubbles right now. And as time go on, it's gonna keep on bubbling and bubbling and bubbling and bubbling till it eventually overflows, Because the Most High ain't putting no cover on that, and that covering, it basically, it signifies, a stop. The Most High ain't gonna stop this. We said it's gonna happen, so it is gonna happen. you know. But as the precept, I'm going to bring out, this is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 23. Take it from 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the harm of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashin Yahushai. Because as I say, let me bring that back out, that clip back out. It says,
assassination threat.
Yeah, it says, Iran issues sickening assassination threat against Trump. This time, it will not miss the target, So, they're letting you know, the target won't be missed. The target won't be missed. The Most High is going to have it to be where, America is going to feel all what this issue throughout the world, They're going to feel it, And as I stated, these smaller nations, that, are basically scared of America, is now rising up, As you see now, America, is putting their foot inside Venezuela, They then freaking take their president or their prime minister, it's not from out there, his name is Maduro, he then get captured. And then now they putting some same rules down to whereas if you don't apply, if you don't comply, Salakia, with them, they will, come after you also, and that rule is being issued out in Colombia and Mexico now, so if you ain't complying, America coming for you, and this is where they stretching themselves thin, because they gonna be everywhere at once, but don't want, take care of themselves, they trying to have power all over the world, that's their goal, that's their agenda, but guess what, the Most High is gonna bring them down, through his spirit and power. This is the book of Joel. It's the book of Joel 2 and 7. It reads, They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, They be in those missiles, and as Iran say, when they come to assassinate Trump again, they will not miss. And that's going to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. His spirit is going to be upon those missiles for when Iran, feels fit to shoot them out, it's going to hit the intended target. Verse 8, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his part. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro into the city. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. That's when the Most High cracks them clouds, when those missiles is being launched out and those chariots, start to come out, and help along doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. On that day it's going to be mass death and destruction, but our people believe they have these missile defense system, was going to save them. Our people believe the Most High is going to come to them and say, no, I can hit you. I can get them. No, 2/3 is going to feel the same. It's going to feel the same ramification as the heathen because they following the ways of the heathen. They're liking unto the heathen, They're running a photo finish, in wickedness alongside the heathen. So the Most High is going to punish you as if you're the heathen, and they're going to come out through the law, and they're going to come back, in the kingdom in your right minds through the lungs of the elect. Hopefully myself and the like man that I came around the four corners of the world doing this truth and all humbleness and sincerity, be a part of the elect number. Because the Most High, when he come back, he ain't coming back, to ask questions, he just coming back with full wrath and chaos, havoc, terror. He come back in full God mode, The Most High is going to come back in full God mode and accomplish his will. What he said is going to happen, in the scriptures. It's the book of Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and the pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Cause thy mighty ones to come down. Who's the mighty ones? Being Babylon, being America. The Most High is going to cause them to come down through these weaker nations, and those superpower nations, because all of them are going to join together in the fight to take out America, in that day. Through as I state, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Nabashai. He's going to have all those nations, even if they don't like each other, working together to accomplish his will, to carry out his task, and that's to destroy America. I can jump on up to verse 2. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat and plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. And after that's being done, the Most High is going to continue with his will, which is to destroy the heathen nations. Only one nation is going to be saved in that day. That is the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, being you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the Most High has a strange sense of humor. He's going to use these nations, to carry out his will, and then he's going to carry out his will on them nations also. The Most High has a strange sense of humor, and this is why he must be fed, But our people, would hear this word, cast it aside, get the breakdown of this, but can't understand it, or because their eyes clogged with that wax, their eyes have those scales on it, or because the Most High ain't able to their spirit, to this word, But hopefully this lesson is much edifying to serve this purpose. I'll give our praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh for putting the spirit upon me to do this video. Shalom.